Welcome to Echoes International podcast, with teaching, interviews and stories of what God is doing straight from the mission field and also within the UK. For more podcasts, stories and opportunities to get involved, check out our website at echoesinternational.org.uk and our other social media channels. Just a few things to share with you. I guess it's hard to believe that it's been more than a year that Echoes International have been operating. Before that, of course, it was Interlink and Echoes of Service. We've put our feet up for the year, not done much. But really, it's been a fantastic year, and God has been doing so many amazing things. And I want to just tell you a few things of what's happening and also just share some things that we're planning as well. As we came together, all of the activities we do, we would kind of group under these 4 pillars that we have. Prayer is very much at the centre of Echoes International, and I'll talk about that in a second. Also, we support, obviously, the mission workers in whatever country they are, and all sorts of various works that are going across from national workers and Indigenous workers across the country as well. And the 2 areas we're doing much more on than we had done previously is to equip, and we'll talk about that in a second, to help people to get ready to serve and also to mobilise, and being much more intentional about the opportunities that are in the country and across the world as well. So just a few things just to share with you. But before I do that, I want to just take time to say thank you. When you think of the whole of the year that's just taken place, and we have been very busy actually, and it's probably fair to say, if you think of the people that we are speaking to at the present moment, we have never had so many people where God is clearly speaking in their lives and they're looking to serve elsewhere. And that's very encouraging as we think of the daily prayer guide every year, and every year it's just going down and down. And I think it's going to go up this year. I'll forecast that right now. But there are so many folk we're speaking to, and that's something to really give thanks for. I think sometimes we become so accustomed to what's going on that we just take things for granted. And as we hear more of what God is doing, people are being inspired from that perspective as well. Again, just to say thanks for those who are supporting us. We now reach thousands of people every month with either the magazine or the digital channels or social media channels as well. If you follow us, please continue to follow. But I thought it was just quite apt to say thank you for all that's taking place and for all the support we're receiving as well. In terms of some of the things we're doing, so we talked about prayer being integral to what we do, and that's absolutely the case. And one of the things we're looking to do this year, the week commencing the 15th of April, is put aside a week of prayer for mission. And I would ask you, both individually and also in your churches and assemblies, to actually pick this opportunity up and pray for mission all the way through the year, through the month, or through the week, sorry. You can pray through the year as well. What you do is go into our website and just pick a slot where you're going to pray for mission. And the idea is that we've got folk already all over the world who are starting to do this. And so you can either do it on the website, or you can actually go to the stand that's in the foyer and sign up from that perspective as well. But it would be fantastic if through all of that week, every hour has just a number of people just praying for mission across the world. So I would ask you to get involved in that and get your churches involved in it as well. Something to encourage folk to pray. It's good to be able to pray for mission across the world. And that's just one of the examples of things we've got planned. The other thing we do is support, and there's a couple of things we're doing which probably is not visible to anyone, but it's quite an important aspect for us. So the first thing is safeguarding. About a year and a half ago, all the Oxfam problem broke. And the regulators, both the Charity Commission in England and Oscar in Scotland, wrote to all the charities across the whole of the country and asked us what we're doing in order to demonstrate that we're taking safeguarding seriously. So we've been involved this year in rolling that out with our mission workers, and 3 aspects to that. The first aspect is we have provided them with a safeguarding policy. And we're asking all our mission workers to sign up to that policy. So that's happening at the present moment. We've also put together an online training programme for safeguarding for children and vulnerable adults as well. And all our mission workers are going through that this year, and they will do that every 3 years. And that will give them a certificate at the end of it to say they've been trained in safeguarding as well. And then the third aspect is whether we are doing visits in country or whether we are debriefing them here, or also just speaking to them. Every year we'll ask them about safeguarding issues off the back of where they are and what they're doing. And we're doing that in conjunction with the sending church as well. So that's just a good example of where safeguarding is very much high on the agenda for us. Oxfam and these other charities, one of the accusations that was made of them is that they were failing in moral leadership over safeguarding. And that would not be something we wanted Echoes to be touched with at all. So that's just a good example. And the other area is risk and security. We live in a very risky world in comparison to 20, 30, 40 years ago. 9/11 has changed the game, and there are a lot of our mission workers who are working in countries where it's actually dangerous to be a Christian. It's dangerous to witness. And we need to make sure we take their risk and their security seriously. So these are two aspects of support that we probably haven't done a lot with before, and they are now coming to the fore and keeping us fairly busy from that perspective as well. The other thing we would like to make sure folk are aware of, and particularly elders who are here tonight or today, and also younger folk as well, we are starting to try to encourage people who have got an interest in mission, or they think God is calling them, to help them in that journey. About a year and a half ago, John, myself and Rupert, the 3 directors, were meeting with CAIF, which is the kind of organising body of the churches in France. And what they have done probably about 15 years ago is sponsor people through Bible college. And as we spoke to them, we kind of all thought, actually, that's a really good idea. And so what we are looking to do is identify people who've got an interest in mission. And if they have, we would like to sponsor them through Tilsley for the year. So again, I just leave that there and ask you, if you do have individuals you think are applicable from that perspective, we'd love to speak to you. And we'd love to speak to the young folk as well. So that's something which has been quite different for us and something we're trying to encourage, and so that a lot of church leaders and elders will know about that as well. Now, you're going to hear about Danielle later on, and she's going to talk about First Serve. But again, in terms of encouraging people and equipping people, First Serve is a fantastic programme. I've just got the slide there, but you have to wait to later on to hear the detail. But it's important that our younger folk know about First Serve as a very good, credible gap year programme to understand mission better and are supported in mission from that perspective as well. The other thing we've got is, actually we're just working through what the name of this is. So we've called it Explore Mission at the present moment. We're going to run a week of mission in the summer in August. So it starts on the 5th of August through to the 9th of August. And it's a combination of teaching, a combination of practical mission, and also a combination of just social aspects as well. And the plan is to get, we've said that if you're under 30, so that's giving you quite a wide scope. But again, if you know of young folk who'd be interested in a week in Motherwell, actually that's not selling it very well. I'm not so sure how folk are interested in a week in Motherwell, but you know what I mean. But it'd be good to get a number of young folk together and just encourage them in mission, and just give them opportunities for mission from that perspective as well. So please, if you are an elder or a church leader, or you've got young folk in your assembly, we would love to get these folk on that. We'll give you more of the detail of that as we start to work through this as well. And the last thing, I guess, just before I finish, is just to give you an idea of the opportunities that already exist across the world for mission at this particular time. At any given point in time, we advertise opportunities, both short-term and long-term, on our website. And just now there's about 60 odd, I counted them last night, of opportunities that exist at the present moment for people to go and serve in cross-cultural mission. And again, probably most folk don't find the website very interesting. I think it's fantastic, but the opportunity just to go through some of these, and there's a whole range of different skills that people are looking for as well. But I would encourage you just to try and make sure, if you're interested, if you think God's got a call in your life, start to look at some of the opportunities that are there as well. And I bring a couple just to your attention that I pulled out that I know have been advertising over the last 2 or 3 weeks ago. So there's one in Romania over the summer for young folk to get involved in children's work. And it would be great just to hear of someone being interested. And we would like to talk to you if you're interested in that situation as well. And also in Lebanon, Andrea Smith, one of our mission workers, has a very busy schedule in the school, and there's an opportunity to help her across the summer for a few weeks as well. And again, it'd be good if anyone is interested, please let us know and speak to us from that perspective, and we'll be happy to pass your name on and details to Andrea as well. And lastly, and I finish with this, we've got a stand outside, and normally with these things at conferences, folk walk by the stand and then they go for their tea or whatever. I would ask you to actually just have a conversation with them. There's a few things we're looking for. We're looking for folk to sign up to the prayer week. It would be tragic if we advertised a prayer week and there's very few folk actually getting involved to pray. That would be really disappointing, and I don't think that will happen at this conference, knowing how much you've supported us in the past. So talk to the folk at the stand and sign up for that. The magazine, I can't believe there's anyone here who doesn't get the magazine. Shame on you if that's the case. But, sign up for the magazine. It's free for the first year if you don't have it. And again, it's a great opportunity just to understand what God is doing and continues to do across the world, and be encouraged with lots of stories, some of the stories which we've heard from Malcolm as well. So please take the time. It's quite a lonely job as you stand at these stands and folk walk past. I did it in Keswick for a week, and it's very tiring. So please encourage them by going to speak to them and sign up as well. So that's me, and I'll hand back to John. We hope you're encouraged and inspired and ready to answer the call. Thank you for listening.